We're counting down 10 of the most haunting disappearances recorded in Mount Rainier National Park. Solo hikers who never returned from marked trails, experienced climbers swallowed by glacier and storm, massive search operations deploying helicopters, drones, and dozens of rangers which still found nothing. Each case climbs deeper into the unknown, building toward a number one entry that remains the mountain's greatest unsolved mystery. We begin at number 10. In the 10th place, Seattle area skier Matthew Bunker vanished in June 2020 during a high-altitude descent near the steep Thumb Rock sector. While skiing down the mountain, the 30-year-old became separated from his partner in severe weather. Search efforts began immediately, but hazardous conditions limited the ground operation. Park officials believed Bunker fell in avalanche-prone terrain. Rescuers eventually located and recovered his body at the base of a steep cliff. Because his remains were found, this case ranks lower on the unresolved scale, though the precise timing and final movements of his descent remain unexplained. In the 9th place, 74-year-old hiker CG from Black Diamond failed to return from an overnight trek in August 2020. Rangers found his vehicle at the Paul Peak trailhead, focusing the search on Golden Lakes, Sunset Park, and the South Mowich River corridor. Ground and aerial teams combed these areas, eventually recovering his body on August 26, 2020. Having a vehicle location and defined corridors provided a clear search framework, which resolved the immediate disappearance but left his final movements and exact cause of death an unanswered question. In the 8th place, an unnamed 68-year-old hiker from Everett, Washington, disappeared in the spring of 2020. He set out for a day hike in the Couts area, near the Carbon River Watershed's complex trail network. After his wife reported him overdue on a Tuesday evening, rangers initiated a search. The operations concluded when searchers recovered his remains within the Carbon River area. Because the National Park Service withheld his identity and did not release a precise recovery location or official cause of death, this sparsely documented case relies on limited public records, leaving his final moments unexplained. In the 7th place, 61-year-old Mark Miller from Ording, Washington, went missing during a solo winter trek. On January 24, 2020, the experienced outdoorsman headed into the rugged Carbon River Basin on the northwest side of the mountain. When he failed to return, the Pierce County Sheriff's Department and local search units mobilized. Teams combed the dense forest and river corridors, eventually finding Miller's body on February 1, 2020. Although some secondary reports mistakenly date this incident to 2021 due to massive regional flooding that occurred the following year, official records place his recovery firmly in early 2020. This recovery resolved his physical whereabouts, though his exact final movements through the basin remain unrecorded. In the 6th place, an initials-only entry in the National Park Service Incident Archive refers to a hiker identified only as TS. On June 21, 2020, this individual set out for an attempted solo trek around the Paradise area. Unlike more prominent cases, the official record offers no specific trail, search chronology, or details on search team counts. With zero recovered evidence, no confirmed final location, and no verified explanation, the incident remains entirely unresolved, keeping the mystery factor high. However, because this sparse documentation limits any responsible interpretation, investigators can only treat potential route deviation as a labeled possibility. This lack of verifiable data keeps the case distinct from other named files in the Paradise Basin. In the 5th place, 27-year-old Seattle resident Talal Sabag vanished in June 2020 after setting out for a hike in the Paradise area. Rangers discovered his vehicle parked at the Paradise lot on June 22nd, triggering an immediate coordinated search. Park personnel and local mountain rescue volunteers combed the surrounding drainages, pushing through difficult terrain and poor visibility. This case offers a much stronger paper trail than initials-only archival entries, featuring formal overdue hiker notices and active agency coordination. While secondary records sometimes conflict on whether the incident occurred in 2020 or 2021, official logs firmly date the mobilization to the summer of 2020. Despite extensive ground efforts, his precise path and final movements through the subalpine meadows remain completely unresolved. In fourth place, 25-year-old Vincent Gie vanished on June 19th, 2020, while hiking the Van Trump Trail toward Mildred Point near Longmire. When he failed to return, the National Park Service activated a massive unified search. Ground crews, canine units, and helicopters swept the steep, rugged terrain along his planned route. Because G was an Indonesian citizen, official records document close communication with the Indonesian consulate during the active investigation. Despite this highly coordinated effort, searchers found no physical clues, gear, or remains. Without a confirmed final location, investigators could only propose exposure, route deviation, or a sudden accident as possible explanations, leaving his fate completely unresolved in Mount Rainier's challenging wilderness. Coming to the top three, 64-year-old Edwin Birch vanished during the summer of 2014 while hiking the demanding Wonderland Trail with his son. The two companions separated near Indian Bar, a high-altitude wilderness area. At the time of their split, Birch reportedly appeared well but tired, making plans to meet further down the trail. When he failed to arrive at their designated meeting point, a major search operation was quickly launched. National Park Service teams, reinforced by Olympic National Forest personnel, focused their ground search efforts on the steep Boulder Creek drainage just above the Ohana-Pekosh River. Rescuers navigated dense underbrush and swift water, searching for any footprint, dropped gear, or piece of clothing. Despite these coordinated sweeps, no trace of Birch was ever found. As the probability of survival declined, park officials scaled back the active operation, leaving his sudden disappearance on the mountain completely unresolved. In second place, Seattle area hiker Sam Dubal vanished in October 2020 after setting out for a day hike along the Mother Mountain Loop near Mowich Lake. He was reported missing on October 9th, triggering an intensive 5-day search operation in volatile autumn weather. The National Park Service mounted a massive response, deploying a Bell 407 helicopter, more than 30 rangers, volunteer search and rescue teams, and a specialized 4x4 ground crew. Rescuers used advanced search tools, including 2 drone units and forward-looking infrared thermal imaging, to sweep the steep, densely forested terrain along his expected route. Despite this heavily documented mobilization of modern technology and experienced personnel, search teams found absolutely no physical clues, gear, or remains. The case remains completely open, showing how even a defined trail and a highly sophisticated multi-agency search can fail to resolve what happened to those who disappear on the mountain. And finally, in first place, the early June 2014 disappearance of 6 experienced mountaineers on the Emmons Glacier route remains the park's most significant unresolved incident. The party, consisting of 2 guides and 4 clients, was attempting a summit climb when severe storm conditions forced a high-altitude bivouac. After a short improvement in weather, the climbers attempted a descent, but by June 2nd, they had failed to return. Rangers, the United States Air Force, and local volunteers mobilized a massive search using helicopters and ground teams to scan the largest glacier in the contiguous United States. Deep snow, unstable ice, and constant avalanche danger restricted access to the search area, forcing officials to suspend operations with all 6 climbers unaccounted for. Searchers found no gear, no definitive final location, and no remains. While a fall, an avalanche, severe exposure, or a route error in a whiteout could explain the tragedy, no scenario has ever been confirmed. The scale of the missing group, the difficulty of the glacier terrain, and the total lack of physical evidence make this the most complex mystery on the mountain. Across these 10 disappearances, a chilling truth emerges. Mount Rainier's ancient terrain easily dwarfs modern human effort. The mountain doesn't just claim lives, it erases all evidence, reminding us that some wilderness boundaries remain absolute. Which case mystifies you most? Let me know below.